Hello and welcome to Porch People Talk About, where we discuss makers, what they make, why they make, and what influenced them to make. Today I'm talking with Daniel Smith.
Hi, I'm Daniel.
Daniel is an aspiring architect, ceramic artist, poet, and lover of the blues.
Damn right.
Welcome.
Thanks.
So the first question, and we're going to kind of break this down, but we'll start with architecture. What do you make in terms of architecture, and why do you make?
So I think that question kind of encompasses all of my philosophy with art, writing, architecture, everything. I like to make whatever makes me feel, whether that's a good feeling or a bad feeling, just anything that makes me feel.
That's good. So we talked a little bit about, we're talking specifically in terms of architecture, what kind of purpose or what is your goal as an architect? What kind of purposes or goals or things do you want to serve with what you build or make or whatever it happens to be?
I'm not sure yet what I want to build, but I want to make architecture that is for the people, and that's kind of what I've been delving into with research and things like that lately.
Yeah, so we talked about, we use the term, this sort of academia side of architecture, more of reading and writing and discussing rather than practice.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet. So we talked a little bit also about. I'm sorry, the cat is distracting the shit out of me.
I said just keep it.
We might have to start, huh?
I said keep it.
Okay. There's a cat.
Okay.
You know what? I'll take this time to explain the cat. There's a cat here we call Party Cat.
Party
It is
cat.
a neighborhood cat. We don't know who it lives with. We don't know whose it is. It has a collar. It just has a name on it. But Party Cat just pops in whenever she wants. And this is... Oh, God! This is Party Cat. Party Cat is a lovely animal.
Hey, Party Cat.
Daniel is also allergic to Party Cat.
I'm allergic to
So
Party
I'm going to
Cat.
keep Party
Yeah.
Cat over here. And actually, I'm just going to let her go. Anyway,
So.
back to this. So I'm going to move on a little bit to the next step in the architecture discussion. But ate a lot.
Yeah.
Ate a lot is one of the largest
Pretty
architecture
cool.
fellowships in the world. Yeah, we ate a lot. We drank a lot, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, ate a lot is one of the largest architecture fellowships in the world. And you were fortunate enough to be its recipient last year.
Yeah.
And it allowed you to travel the world in pursuit of what did Ate a Lot do for you?
I think that the biggest thing that Adelot gave me, besides the ability to travel to like 7 countries, 3 continents this summer, besides that awesome thing, it's given me the ability to like really have concrete evidence that I really do want to do academia in the future, because I'm working with my faculty advisor, doing my research, and I'm just reading and writing more than I ever have in my life. And I love that. And this work that I'm doing with my advisor is equally as fun as my experiences this summer, and that's saying a lot. There's a blues song called That's Saying a Lot.
Well, that's very interesting. You know, I see that your major is arguably one of the more work-intensive things that you can do, and so you and all of your classmates are already in this sort of just really intense atmosphere, and on top of that, you've taken on this sort of goal to produce something more, this really big discussion and dissertation on whatever it is that you're doing, these writing, this researching. I think that's interesting. I think that's going to bode well for you in the future.
I hope
I'm
so.
interested to see where that goes. But you did say that, and you might have touched on this a little bit just now, but you said that the seed was always there, this kind of this pursuit of this academia side, and that Ate-A-Lot wasn't something that influenced that, but it was, you pursued Ate-A-Lot because you already wanted to do this, and Ate-A-Lot has just been pushing that further.
Definitely,
Is that right?
yeah. I think that seed was probably like born within me, probably my freshman year, by having professors who were really interested in the history and the theoretical side, and I saw that, and on top of them being awesome professors, they influenced me into thinking, hey, maybe I do want to do that. And then I did my proposal for Ada-Lot, and I won it, and now I'm doing this, and it's like, oh, yeah, I was right. This is what I want to do.
That's great. Awesome. We'll move on a little bit. I want to talk about your influences when it comes to architecture specifically. You keep talking about building for people. I think that's something you saw a lot this summer. You mentioned names like Sambo Mokbey, and Corbusier.
Yeah, Corbusier.
Got it. Can you talk a little bit about those influences and what they have done for you?
Yeah, I don't actually think I realized the impact or influence that Sambo Mokbey had until we were talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
And just growing up in a small town, Canton, Mississippi, and Sambo Mokbey being like literally down the street from me in this weird tin house that he designed for him and his family. And so that was always there. And he kind of has an architecture that is for humanity. It's architecture shelter for the soul. And so that has kind of been in the background always. And then coming to school and studying like Corbusier and architects like that who really intentionally design spaces for people and for experiential use. And that's kind of, I'm seeking to merge those two ideas, I think.
Right. We'll touch a little bit on this more later when we get to talking about music and the blues and roots, but I think it's interesting that a lot of times some of our greatest inspirations, it seems like for you, Sambo is one of those, that they happen to be this kind of close to home entity, this sort of local person. And what I think is even more interesting is it's not just this connection to that localness. It's you have found actual substance and appreciation and inspiration from someone that is, quote unquote local. But that's just interesting that I think that we have these big aspirations to leave this place and do these different experiences, but weirdly enough, we can't help but be influenced by this, by home or by where we come from. So that's great, and I think it's awesome that you have that. There's a poster in your house with a quote by Sam Mokbey that says, "Proceed and be bold," and I love passing it. It's great. Sweet. So let's step away from architecture for a little bit, or architecture specifically, and we're going to talk about ceramics.
Okay.
So you are a ceramic artist. Tell me, when did this start? When did ceramics happen for you?
It happened in 2015. I think my first experience with ceramics was when I was a kid, and there was an arts fair on the Canton Square, and I was walking with my family, and there was a lady outside of one of the storefronts throwing clay, and I stopped and I looked and I thought, wow, that looks so easy and so fun. And then I tried it in 2015, and it was not easy, but it was fun.